Hi all, welcome to my channel. As part of JMeter interview question series, today we'll be looking at what are the different controllers available in Apache JMeter and what are the different types and one-line explanation of each one. So if you see my screen, we have different categories of controllers. So from top to bottom, we can see we have logic controllers, sampler controllers, transaction controller, and recording controller. Generally, when we record any script, we'll be using recording controller to record the flow and get the request. And suppose if you want to get any transaction response time, so to measure any response time of the transaction request, we'll be keeping this transaction controller. So and whatever the request we'll be sending as a HTTP or HTTPS, get call, post, put, or patch call, so those all will be sending through sample controller. We can say HTTP request. And if you want to execute any SQL related queries on the database, so we have JDBC request, that is also there. And we have FTP request also, transfer file from using FTP protocol, that is also there for downloading or uploading the file. And debug sampler is just to help for debug the JMeter variables or logic. Yeah, this is related to sampler controller. And one more is logic controller. Here we can see a number of controllers which will be used in our JMeter scripting part, and it will be helpful for our execution also. Generally, first, if you see from top, we have simple controller where we have a one or group of samplers available, and that is one controller. We can say simple controller. And loop controller, if you want to execute any request or calls, so for a number of times or 10 times or 20 times, so we can have this loop. And while controller, this is another controller, just like trying an retrain API until if the response code is 200. That way we can try this. And if control is nothing but if condition is satisfied, then it will go into and run it. And we have a switch controller. Suppose if you are running the script where we have a QA related a prod or UAD, so it will be calling the APIs based on the switch model which we keep. So interleave controller, it's nothing but if we have is different request, so the first user will be coming up and taking up the first request, and second user will be coming up and taking the second request as a sequential. So this we say as an interleave controller. Random controller, nothing but selecting the request in a random way. So we have a throughput controller. So suppose we have different requests which has to be executed in the percentage way. Suppose 50 to 50 or 50% it has execute one request, and another with the 50, so we can keep the percentage over there, or 70-30 or 80-20, this distribution we can keep it and run it. So that can be happen in throughput controller. And runtime controller is nothing but if you want to run any request for this particular time, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we can have this controller. That is one thing. So and module controller and include controller is different controllers where we have fragmentation is there, where we have the script or request which can be reusable, and those can be called from module or include controller. So those two controllers we can use, so where it has been linked with the fragmentation. So module controller is the one which we can select the fragmentation file, or include controller is the one where we can browse the file which is browse the request which is there in the fragmentation. Yeah, that is one thing. And for each controller is the loop through product IDs and add to cart. That is one thing. So these are the different controllers which we'll be using in our JMeter for our scripting part and execution. And I hope it helped for you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe my channel for more upcoming videos on JMeter interview questions. Yeah, thank you.